Pizba comment.
Hello?
Tilda Robbins, Joint Support Centre.
You better come in. I haven't seen Roger for 2 weeks. He went to St. Petersburg and hasn't returned. It's very unusual.
Well, that's why I'm here. What was he working on?
That's classified information.
A letter from the director. The Foreign Office received a memo from embassy staff here about Roger Harris being a missing British citizen.
That'll be Peter Quayle's doing. Our cover's been blown by our own embassy.
Giving advice about the restoration of historic buildings, right?
What are you writing?
A draft report for the European Intelligence Services.
About Roger?
I'm here to help. I might be a MI6 agent stationed in Brussels, but my main concern is British interests. I'll only report what we think the Europeans need to know.
I see.
Harris is the head of our Baltic unit, so naturally we're worried too. What was he working on before he left?
The activities of the LICHR.
And what's that?
The Legal Information Centre for Human Rights.
Well, whose rights?
The 345,000 Russians who've remained in Estonia since independence.
Well, that's 25% of the population.
Well, it's a significant percentage. Half of whom don't have passports or voting rights. It's a Kremlin-funded organisation. Roger went to St. Petersburg to get some more information from his old contacts.
Is everything all right?
Yesterday, I was visited by representatives from the mayor's office. We think he's a Russian agent. Most of the Estonian Russians live in Tallinn or on the Baltic coast. He's campaigning to give them all voting rights.
Well, that's democracy, right?
We're dealing with Russians here, not English liberals. It's an endless undermining of the Estonian state.
Well, you're very passionate about it.
I love Estonia. They're wonderful people, and they deserve the chance to enjoy the same freedoms that we take for granted.
Who was the last person Roger contacted before going to St. Petersburg?
Bettina Gittens.
Nationality?
British. German mother. She's attached to the CDCE, the Cyber Defence Centre for Excellence.
You're really spooked.
I haven't been home for 3 days. I've been sleeping in the spare room here.
Well, I'll stay here.
If you're sure I could do with the company, you could use Roger's room.
Miss Robbins,
Call me Tilda.
welcome to Cyber Defence.
Thank you for agreeing to brief me, Bettina. So this is the new frontier in the conflict between East and West. Cyber defence.
That is correct. We keep the Joint Support Centre updated on locked shields, as you know.
It's a modest building, considering what you're doing.
There are 3 floors of digital storage bunker below our feet.
No wonder they call us moles.
Russian power today is the product of ideology inherited during the Soviet era. There are a few tasks of psychological analysis more difficult than determining official Russian protocol. Here we attempt to understand them and effectively counter them.
And what do you think we're countering?
Imperial dictatorship charading as democracy.
How do you think the Russians see us?
Imperial capitalism charading as democracy.
Not much between us, then.
A few years ago, the entire Estonian government and business network were disabled by Russia for 3 weeks. Estonia is an EU state. Imagine if that happened in the UK, it would be considered an act of war.
And now we have locked shields.
Yes, an integrated defence network that monitors cyber attacks and limits them to skirmishes.
It's unofficial war with Russia.
There are other countries involved, but primarily, yes. We are at war with Russia. This is the front line. The trenches have been dug and we are bombarding each other's defences.
And who's winning?
I don't think there are any winners. This is not a game.
You've been working very closely with Roger Harris.
Roger? Yes, Roger is compiling the handbook on cyber defence protocol.
The Cyber War Codebook.
That is correct. The step-by-step cyber warning codes procedure up to nuclear engagement.
When did you last see Roger?
A few weeks ago.
Did you speak to him?
He called me from St. Petersburg to wish me a happy birthday.
Did he sound well?
Well enough.
Aren't you worried that something might have happened to him?
Should I be worried?
Well, his personal secretary certainly is.
Muriel is a very paranoid individual. I think she may be bipolar.
But don't you think it's strange he hasn't been in touch for almost 2 weeks?
No. He said he was going to hide away somewhere to compile the codebook notes.
I imagine you know most of what he's writing.
That is certainly not the case.
How did you end up working in Tallinn?
My father is British, my mother Estonian.
Not German?
No. I was born in Berlin, otherwise I am as British as you, Tilda. I drink tea and like chocolate biscuits. Is the briefing over?
Yes, thank you. Estonian.
I should step out of the car, please, Miss Robbins. Thank you. I'm Peter Quayle. I informed the FA about Roger's disappearance.
Are you Foreign Office?
I'm an attaché at the British Embassy here. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Well, would you like to take some tea and we could talk about it?
That would be great, thank you.
Follow me, then. Well, the ambassador's concerned that the Russians are putting out propaganda that Estonians are haven for Nazis.
Was it true?
Yes and no. Mikhail Gorkov is Estonian. He participated in the murder of 3,000 Jews in the 1940s. The Estonian authorities knew about it, but they refused to prosecute.
Well, it's a one-off, right?
SS marches are not uncommon in Estonia.
So is Estonia pro-fascist, then?
Good God, no. Estonian troops are stationed with us in Helmand province. A few extremists, we get the same idiots in the UK. It's just the Russians piling more pressure on the future of this country.
And what's our interest in all this?
Well, we have a long history with Estonia. We had a fleet harbored in Tallinn during the War of Independence in 1918. We've been fighting communism with them ever since. Likewise, fascism is something we don't need to lecture the Estonians about. They suffered enough of it in the Second World War.
So, you know Roger Harris personally?
Yes. He heads up the Heritage Society. One thing about old Roger, he knew how to have a good time. So he's been working for the Joint Support Center, has he?
Well, we're not a secret organization.
Well, then you can tell me what he's been working on.
The Falcon Theory. The effects of the collapse of the euro and the economic meltdown that would follow. The breakup of the EC, the military consequences, the outbreak of war.
With Russia?
Or who else?
Roger's been working on this.
For the last 5 years.
And I thought he was just a washed-up old spy. Cold War spy seeing out the last of his MI6 pension. I tell you, we painted the town blue a few times, but no matter how drunk he got, I couldn't get a single peep out of him. Kidding aside, Roger knows everyone from Berlin to Moscow. It concerns the ambassador that he's gone missing. We rely on him.
Well, so do the JSC. It's worrying.
They might already have him in the bills of the FSB.
Well, maybe he's afraid of that and has gone into hiding.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's always one step ahead of everyone else.
Well, does he have any Estonian friends?
Well, the only one I can think of is Sander Rumet. Yeah, he used to work for the Estonian secret police. Some sort of hoo-ha, and he had to retire.
Oh. Well, not reliable, then.
But any Estonian over the age of 35 is a potential agent. We tend to work with the younger generation, treat the older as potentially hostile.
Oh, I'll bear that in mind.
It's bloody warm in here. I think we've been here too long. Wall surveyors.
This your latest girlfriend, Peter?
Gut, you know I only have eyes for Estonian girls.
You were seen with the Latvian tart in a strip bar the other night.
Your lookouts must have been wearing their shades. She was lovely. This is Tilda Robbins. She's been sent out from Brussels to spy on us.
We know who Tilda is. She's here to find out what Roger Harris has been spending the Heritage Society's grant money on. I can tell you, it's wine and girls.
Good for the economy, Gut.
Of course, if you're a barkeeper or a massage girl. Don't be offended. Peter and I like to joke about things, don't we, Peter?
Absolutely, Gut. Don't worry about Tilda. She's often seen at Roger's Heritage Society soirees.
So, you're here to give us advice on conservation. What kind of buildings do we need advice on?
Well, old ones, of course.
Not old Soviet ones. Surely you would recommend that we pull these down.
Well, that all depends on who's in them. We wouldn't want entire government departments being thrown out onto the streets.
But seriously, what's wrong with our buildings?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out.
I can tell you. We'll save you a lot of time. We have airports, fortifications, hotels, libraries, manor houses, museums, places of worship, railway stations, ruins, towers, schools, and zoos.
Zoos?
Sorry, only one zoo, I exaggerated. So you see, we're just like any other country. So what kind of buildings are you interested in saving?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the wooden ones. Those with symbolic value. Specifically those associated with the Hanseatic League.
Yeah, so you do know something about that architecture.
Well, I do have a degree in the history of art.
Our historic buildings mean nothing to the non-ethnics. We've had repeated instances of arson. The Church of St. Nicholas was severely damaged by fire, just as its restoration was complete. Why don't you ask the Russians about that?
That's what I hear everywhere.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Tilda. Can I take you anywhere?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
We should have a beer, Peter. I'll call you.
Gut works for Kepo, the Estonian secret police. They're not much of a secret, but she is on our side, which is more than I can say for some of us superiors.
Well, thank you, Peter. You've been a great help.
Call the embassy if you need me, yes?
Don't you have a mobile?
You mean a tracking device? I recommend you lose your phone. Your movements have been monitored by the Russian intelligence. Welcome to Estonia.
Where is Harris?
Who are you?
We are looking for Raj, Harris.
Well, he's not here.
Then we'll wait.
You got some beer? Beer?
Get it yourself.
Zdravia.
Where's he going?
Eh!
Are you going to explain yourself before I call the police?
I don't think that's possible.
Well, you better have a good story.
We're from Myers' office.
And what do you do there?
We work at Department of Human Rights.
Roger understands the plight of the Russians in Estonia. We have more, information for you.
Well, you can leave it on the desk and piss off.
Hear that, Sergei? English women, eh?
No respect for human rights, Valerie.
You like Estonian beer? The only thing that makes this country tolerable.
You lead sheltered lives, boys. What's this really all about?
We don't want our kids emigrating.
You have kids.
We're working on that.
How can we have kids if they're to be treated as stateless persons? Where is the democracy in that?
Have you tried learning Estonian? To become Estonian citizens, we have to take nationality test. We were born here.
It's discrimination, victimization, an infringement of our human rights.
The Russian should be official language.
Well, I sympathize with you, but I don't make the rules.
When is Roger coming back?
I don't know.
Okay. Give this to Roger. Tell him we'll be in touch. Sorry to have troubled you.
Yes, our apologies.
What's happened? You've been out all night. I'm leaving. I've had enough of the intimidation. I went out last night for cigarettes and ended up being driven blindfolded to Narva. They took me to the frontier and shuffled me across. They got me drunk and told me how my life would pan out if I didn't cooperate. Then they drove me all the way back and threw me like a rag doll into the street.
What did you tell them?
What do you think I told them? Everything, of course. They were serious about leaving me in Russia as a doped-up sex worker.
They weren't serious, Muriel. They were bluffing.
Bluffing? You have no idea what's going on here.
What do you mean?
Roger has been leaking thousands of pages of secrets to the SVR. They know he's MI6. They know you're MI6. They know everything. He's been working for them. He's a traitor.
Muriel, calm down. You're being irrational.
I am getting on the first plane I can.
I think you should get dressed. And we should have a coffee. Only alcoholics here at this time in the morning.
How old are you, Gert?
28.
I've been told not to trust any Estonian over 35.
I trust my mother. I've been checking up on you.
And what did you discover?
You went to Cambridge, joined MI6 as a trainee, did your first foreign service in Hong Kong. Then you were posted to Dubai. Afterwards, you were sent to the Bahamas to report on the banking fraud, before being seconded to the JSC.
Well, that's my working life in a nutshell.
Do you like Brussels?
Well, it's a bit quiet. I managed to stay out of trouble there.
Boyfriend?
Didn't your database have that information?
It's classified.
Well, everyone's entitled to a private life.
You British are a funny lot. We're on the same side.
Really?
Yes, we are the good guys.
Are we?
Oh, come on, Tilda. We're all Europeans now. The Russians are our common enemy.
Well, we're not at war with them.
Yes, we are. We've been fighting them since the year 1030. Yaroslav the Wise, Ivan the Fourth, Alexis the Third, Peter the Great. The list is long as my arm. Lenin, Stalin, Putin. The war goes on. That's how we see it here.
And now you want to get us involved in it?
Of course. We're part of NATO. In the Euro, an EC state. It's too late. You're in.
Look, I'm just interested to know why the Russians jammed your cyberspace for 3 weeks.
Don't you get it? That's what they do. That's what they've been doing for thousands of years. You're from Britain. It's a long way from here. You don't know the Russians like we do.
I suppose not.
Anyway, you have your own problems in the United Kingdom. What are you going to do about Scotland?
Well, we don't have any say on that.
Oh, really? MI5 just going to sit back and let it all happen?
Well, there's a lot of Scots in MI5. They might want it. I'm enjoying the chat, Gert, but could you please get to the point?
We want to speak to Roger Harris. Do you know where he is? What's so funny?
Well, you're asking me where he is. You're the Estonian Secret Service. I should be asking you.
This is a serious matter. Our cyber center is severely compromised if the Russians get hold of Roger's codebook.
I do understand your concern.
Have you filed your report to the JSC yet?
So you can get a copy. So far, everything's just speculation. Until we know what's happened to Roger Harris, there is nothing to report.
You British always play it so cool. I hope you're armed.
MI6 do not kill people.
Is that the official line?
Just watch yourself. The SVR kill people. That's official.
Oh, and one more thing. Not everyone watching you is a Russian agent. We have our own people here.
Tere? Hello? Tere? Ah, you must be Tilda. I'm Marta Kass. I work for the Heritage Society.
Who do you really work for, Marta? Capo?
Sorry? I work for the British Heritage Society in Tartu. I was told you would like to visit Tartu. Is there something wrong?
No, I'm just a bit confused. Who informed you?
Your embassy called me. I have a car waiting outside for us.
I have a hire car.
It's a long way to Tartu and the road is pretty bad. So why don't you pack a few overnight things and I bring you back in the morning?
All right. I won't be a minute. You looking for something?
There is a lot of buildings in Tartu needing EU money for renovation, and I thought there might be a list here. But never mind. Are you ready?
Ready for anything.
You will adore Tartu.
Well, let's go then.
Please. So, this is Raigo. He's my boyfriend. He has offered to drive, as I don't. I only get paid 500 euros a month. So, Raigo is my rich sugar daddy and savior.
What do you do, Raigo?
He doesn't speak English. Import, export, that sort of thing. That car is following us.
What car?
I'm going to speak with him. He says he's following you.
Well, why would he be doing that?
He wouldn't tell me. He says he wants to speak to you.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing? You're compromising me.
Just doing my job.
And I'm doing mine.
What on earth are you doing in their car?
The embassy put her on to me.
We certainly did not.
I see. Look, I'll go along with things and see where it takes me.
This isn't Brussels, Tilda. You're not going for mules and chips. Get in the car now.
I think they might lead me to Roger Harris.
Marta Cass is Russian intelligence. The monkey there's an Ituri's talent crook connected to the mayor. Now get in the car.
I can look after myself.
What did he want?
He asked me for sex.
Palju se maksis?
What did he say?
How much did he offer?
50 euros.
I would have taken it. I studied in Tartu. It is a very old university.
What subject?
Politics and architecture. I'm interested in the way buildings impose political thinking on the people who use them. Politicians, like architects, are under constant scrutiny. They have to uphold standards much higher than the average person. One leaking roof for an architect can be a blight as legendary as a politician having an affair. And then we have to debate, shall we keep or tear down this building?
Well, you should only tear it down if you can't finance the repair.
That's a very British perspective. Everything is about money with the British.
We do have our ideals as well.
Just not the same as us. I would like to have your opinion on whether we should keep or tear down this next building.
Certainly not very pretty.
Built after the destruction of this part of town in the Second World War.
Soviet, of course.
KGB headquarters in southern Estonia.
Historical, then?
I think so. Shall we go in?
$33,000 deportations to Siberia. That's 2.5% of the population.
They were socially hostile elements.
You mean they believed in democracy?
Inside.
This is a public space martyr.
We are the only visitors today.
I bet you feel right at home here. Who are you? SVR? FSB?
I have a deep love of Russia. Things are not right in this country. We should be Russian and not part of some selfish European state that doesn't give a fig for us.
That's a rather extreme point of view.
Shut up! Where is Harris?
I don't know. You tell me.
You are lying.
Would I be here if I knew where he was? Everyone wants to find Roger Harris. He's playing us all for fools.
Keep talking.
We know he's been Deputy Director of Analysis and Information at SVR for the last 10 years.
Who told you that?
Roger's a triple agent. He never went over to SVR. He's always remained MI6. And now he's gone missing and you don't understand why.
Roger is one of us. I love Roger. I've known him for almost 30 years, from the old Berlin days, so you are wrong.
He's been cheating on you.
I do not have time to waste on you. You are not wanted here.
You should have stayed in Brussels.
What are they doing here?
What are we doing here?
Well, what should we do?
Run.
Peter!
Oh, this is Tilda.
Tilda, it's a pleasure. You in trouble again? No problem. Paavo, bring us some drinks.
Coming up, boss.
Do you remember this song, Peter? You remember the girl?
No, I'm trying to forget her.
Tilda, you sing?
A little.
Do you know this?
I think you should sing it for us, Lou.
Ah, come on. Do it for Peter.
When I remember you, the girl and boy we knew, high on love and joy, the simple things apply, don't walk on by. And now we meet anew, I know I still love you. I hope you're not annoyed, and even if I try to cry, don't walk on by. The sun and stars go round, they do. Our hearts fill up with loss too late. A boy needs a girl must have her fate. The story goes this way. Now love parades again, desire and want and pain, a tale of sun and rain. You are my clear blue sky, don't walk on by. Don't walk on by.
Green!
There. She still got her cell phone, right?
Da, ja trebuju Portoženka bankieta.
Okay.
Where are we going?
To see Sandra Remet. What are you doing?
Answering.
What the hell did you train?
You have no right to speak to me like this.
You're a bloody idiot.
You're more paranoid than Muriel.
Sometimes it pays to be paranoid. Are you okay?
I think so. Sorry.
This is war, Tilda. Because there's no tanks crossing the border, nobody gives a damn. Half the world doesn't have a clue what's going on here. The Yanks, they're stuck in the sands of the Middle East and us with them. Bloody idiots. It's the Kremlin punishing Estonia for being in NATO.
They're aware of that in Brussels, Peter. The Cyber Defense Center isn't only about defense. It's about monitoring communications across the Baltics. It's uncovering a lot of crime.
And what's been done about it?
I can't answer that.
Exactly. And what use is information if you don't use it?
You're getting tired, Peter. I'm going to request a new posting for you.
Well, I'm dead if I stay here.
To be under surveillance.
This is a small country. There's nowhere to hide.
Unless you're Roger Harris.
Sander.
Peter.
Can I come in, please? We need to speak.
Come in.
Liisu!
Tohiina. Kas sa oled Gerdiga rääkinud?
I've spoke to Gert, yes.
Ta oli minu assistent kapos 5 aastat. Me töötasime mõlemad Herman Simmi alluvuses. Kallis, kas sa Hermanit ikka mäletad?
Yeah, I remember him.
He spent 12 years at the FSB in Moscow for being a sponsored double agent.
Ma arvan, Hermanni andis üles Roger. Herman käskis meil koguda andmeid ja andis need venelastele üle. Ta hoidis mind trellide eest. I think he did, but he was loved in Liisu and Liisu with him.
Whose side is Roger actually on?
Ma olen ise ka selle peale mõelnud. Kui venelased teda taga otsivad, siis ta venelaste poolel olla ei saa.
Well, he hasn't come back to us.
Sander, tell me where he is.
Well?
Sander has been a loyal patriot all of his life. His grandfather was shot by Nazis and his father was sent to Siberia. His uncle was a forest brother. Ultimately, he was betrayed by KGB informer. There are some fools who remember the old good Soviet times, but they were not good. Our children suffered too. But our grandchildren have been born free.
It's a very blessing to see the freedom Estonia.
Well, that's very nice, Sander. But you betrayed your country.
Yes. Aga ma ei ole selle üle uhke.
Just tell us where Roger is.
Ta on täna õhtul teatris. Ja. Koos tütrega. Etendus algab täpselt 20 minuti pärast.
Sa Robertikene ära pane tähele, see Liisi on meil niisama vigureid täis, aga vaat Tooraka mu esiklaps on ikka peen ja kombekas Preili. Te ju nii ilusasti sobite.
Mul püristab ja mul loog lahti.
Ütle mulle, kallis mehekene, kuidas sina jõuad nii palju magada?
Ütle mulle, kallis naisukene, kuidas sina küll jõuad kogu aeg üleval olla?
Sa magad mu lapsest saadik, nagu memm ütles.
Kuda. Kas ma siis 30 aasta sind võtta ei tahtu?
Ja otsib õnne, kus asub see!
Värdi, räägi nüüd
Have you seen an old man and girl? The old man, anyone? The one with the buttonhole?
No.
Double room, please.
You want me to wash your shirt?
I quite like it dirty. Gives me some character.
I'm glad you've got your sense of humour back. For a moment, I thought you were going all serious on me.
Where did you do your first foreign service, Tilda?
Hong Kong. What about you?
In Ireland. I was an undercover cab driver for a couple of years. That was my first experience of car bombs.
Well, lucky me, then. Thank you.
So, do we get to share the bed then?
Well, we won't be sleeping in it at the same time. One of us has to stay awake, remember?
That's right. I forgot. We're spies. No hanky-panky.
Well, some spies are nice girls.
Yes, until they shoot you in the head. You met one of those today, remember?
You're right. I like being a naughty girl.
Did you volunteer for the service?
After university, I answered an ad in the Times for a government job overseas. I didn't know it was an MI6 recruitment ad.
You discovered at the interview, right?
Well, they said they'd send me to Hong Kong. All I had to do was send back reports. Seemed a reasonable trade-off. And you?
Well, I spent a few years in the army. Didn't get involved in any dodgy activity. Had a good bank record. Learned a few languages. Well, I got headhunted, I suppose. Yeah, I've got that sort of voice.
Rygo.
This way.
Roger Harris is your father?
Yes. I was sent to boarding school in England when I was 7.
Oh, he's a traitor. Which makes you a traitor too.
It's more complicated than you think. He's stuck in the middle with nowhere to go.
Well, why is he playing such a silly game? He should give himself up. People are dying.
Some people deserve to die.
That's not very charitable. Roger's the one who should be dead.
He's not a bad man.
Well, that's not my impression. Why couldn't he write the code book at the center?
He's a master spy, Tilda. A code book isn't about codes, it's about the human condition. Who does what to whom if things go wrong? There have to be some secrets left out and some lies left in.
do you mean? Illusion. Perception, leaving things to the imagination. If you leave enough blanks, people will fill them in with whatever they want to believe.
What are you talking about?
The embassy in Tallinn. MI6 doesn't tell them everything.
You're losing me here, Bettina. Don't trust Peter, Tilda.
The guerrillas are outside.
Where are you going? Leave that way. At 3 o'clock, go to Sanders, and he will take you to Roger.
Sounds like a setup to me.
It's not. Let's go.
Look at the time. It's only 2 o'clock.
You know, in training they said there'd be a lot of waiting around. Got a hobby, they said. Have you found one?
Smoking cigarettes. What about you?
Writing in my diary.
What do you write in that bloody thing?
Places. Times. Names.
Is my name in there?
Yes, it is.
What else do you have on me?
I don't know what you mean, Peter.
You know what I mean. Dirt.
You want to confess something to me, Peter?
I'm just curious what it says about me.
Intelligent, good-looking, well-mannered.
Don't be flippant with me, Tilda.
What's got into you? No, you're worrying me.
I'm sorry, I don't feel myself.
You're fatigued. Like Muriel.
We're not getting any younger.
Imagine what Roger Harris is thinking.
I had a friend who passed away last year. Sleeping on my sofa he was. He just didn't wake up.
What did you do?
I had him cremated. He didn't like the idea of being put on the ground. It was just me and the undertakers there. I read a passage from Milton's Paradise Lost. Maybe someone will do that for me someday.
Have you ever been to Milton's cottage?
I wouldn't even know what it looks like.
Oh, it's in the Chilterns. That's a gorgeous place. Low beams, big fireplace, beautiful garden.
You're a romantic just like me, Tilda. What are we doing in this business?
Oh, I don't know, Peter.
How did it happen, Gerd?
Badish. 6.7. Standard Russian military issue.
What are you doing here?
I might ask you the same question. I'm Estonian. It's my job to protect my citizens from the likes of you. I should arrest you both and have you deported.
Don't get shitty with us, Gerd.
You're all the same. Brits, Yanks, Ruskies. You push little countries around like bullies in the playgrounds. Do you know how it makes us think? Do you know how it makes us feel? We play along with your antics, in the hope that you pat us on the head and don't steal our ice cream. But it's time someone stood up to you. They're a tiny speck of land in the global landscape. But it's our land. It will always be our land, no matter who marches through here for the next 1,000 years.
Okay, Kurt. Calm down.
No, I won't. Sander taught me everything I know, and I'm going to catch his killer. Now get out of my way. I have a mess to clean up here.
Excuse me, on my way.
Emma var till Helmke.
Get in the car. Drive, Sergei. Weapons. Sergei.
You shouldn't mistreat British citizens like this.
They're not going to be trading her for a ransom. Are we, Sergei?
Ordina, Gorova Korosho Advilucia.
Go on, man. Tell us, where is he?
Drop dead.
There is a good girl. Now, tell us what we want to know.
Go to hell.
This is gun that killed Sander Ramnet and his wife. There we go. Number 3, Peter Quayle. She's going to be number 4 unless you tell us what we want. You recognize where we are. Pierre Psileng, right?
Russia is on other side.
We know you picked him up here a few days ago.
He's staying in a summer house not far from here.
Nakani Estra. Sergei, get him in the car. Him too.
Taking them to Roger. Yeah. It's the only chance we've got at staying alive.
The old boy does not have many comforts. Get up.
I'm tired.
You can sleep later.
But I want to sleep now. I was up all night driving.
We get back outside and watch.
The mosquitoes are killers.
Tough shit. Pridurak!
Why do you always speak in English to each other?
We're practicing.
For what?
We're being posted to England very soon.
You'd make good builders, labourers. You're a right pair of cowboys.
Well, I've got a degree in engineering.
What about your stooge?
He's got a degree in philosophy.
Pull the other one.
He's got masters in the works of Stalin.
He believes Stalin was a philosopher. Which bit? The forced labour doctrine or the extermination theory?
Who's his second favourite philosopher? Hitler.
Hey, Sergei. These clowns want to talk philosophy with you.
I don't discuss philosophy with women.
I need to go to the bathroom.
So, go.
Well, you want me to stink the place out? You'd have every fly for a mile buzzing around me.
Sergei. Go. Take it to woods.
You mean Doha?
Нет. She needs to,
What?
You know.
No, I don't know.
Do the business.
Oi.
Idiot.
Here. Are you finished yet?
I usually like to take my time. I normally have a magazine to read. Are you looking forward to going to England?
No talking.
Well, I'm curious. Have you been there before?
No.
They don't like Stalin there.
Joseph Stalin was a great patriot, the savior of Russia.
Stalin was a pig.
He was a reformist. It is all written in his 13-volume collected works. You are just an ignorant English peasant.
I agree with you about Stalin.
You...
Keep your opinions for later. Where's Bettina?
She's in the house.
Valery Korobov? You'll have to distract him for me.
I know you're Estonian under all that British exterior. Come on, girl. Give me some of that Estonian loving.
Is this how you treat all your girlfriends?
If you tell me you love me, I consider taking you to Moscow for a nice weekend.
I hate Moscow. Why don't we go to London instead?
Very funny. We spend nice long weekend in this bed. Then, bye-bye. Shot.
Sergei! Looking for something?
Sergei?
He's dead.
The third Falcon is Estonia, the locked shield protecting the flank of Europe from Russian attack. The other two Falcons are Poland and Romania, who've agreed to deploy NATO warheads on their soil. NATO would like Estonia to be the third Falcon.
And why the name Falcon?
Falcon's a misnomer. From Tallinn to Moscow, it's
540 miles?
a missile from Estonia could land on Moscow in 14 minutes. Currently, Russian missiles would take 2 hours to reach US targets. The threat is so real that Russia would rather reoccupy Estonia than allow NATO to deploy missiles. What's that? What are you doing, Peter?
You're a bloody traitor, Roger. I don't want to do this any more than you. I'm taking you back to the embassy for a debriefing.
And how are you going to do that, Peter? You're not on the level, are you, Peter? One of these guns fires blanks, we both know that. But which one?
You pretended to be shot by the Russians, didn't you? I don't understand.
I do. He's been working for them all along. He's a double agent. But he's Moscow's boy, not London's. I've got information on everybody.
I know you do. Where is this information?
Up here.
That's why you're coming with me.
I'm not going to come willingly. At my age, I'm too old to betray my country. I found out that Peter's been passing on information about the SCR to the JVC, and that I was the only agent left in Tallinn who hadn't gone over to them.
I want the defense code information too.
You don't ask for much, do you?
I'm disappointed in you, Peter Quayle. You're a Judas.
Which of us should fire first? Who's your bet on, ladies? This selfish old man or the Judas?
I don't want to kill you, Roger.
I have to kill you, Peter.
What happened to Intelligence Directive? You don't kill people, Roger.
It's a lie.
What now?
I'm clearing off to London. I've got a lot of information to hand over.
What about Bettina?
I'm taking her with me.
What about me?
What about you, Tilda?
Don't you care about me?
I don't think you care about me either.
You're a cold-hearted man, Roger.
It's a cold war we're fighting.
I thought you were a traitor.
Work with that lot? You must be kidding.
You know, I don't understand all the twists and turns of this.
It's espionage, Tilda. You've got a lot to learn.
From you?
All I do is collect information and pass it on. I don't make the last decision on anything. When all's said and done, Europe is a fragile conglomerate of peoples. It's got a lot of history to overcome.
What about Estonia?
Well, I love this country, but I'm not Estonian. It's been independent from Russia for 20 years. In terms of history, that's not very long. If they could make it 100 years, 500, 1,000, that would be a success. But we shan't be here to see it, so we're not responsible for it. It's up to people like Gert from now on. See you in London for a drink sometime.
He's really rather sweet underneath it all.
Miss Robbins, this is Sergeant Saransky's car. Step out and open the trunk.
So you're capo too?
Where is Peter Quayle?
He's gone home.
And Bettina Gittens?
Gone home.
And Roger Harris?
Well, he's gone home as well.
I suggest you do the same.
Well, I'll take your advice, Gert.
Send my regards to Brussels.
When I remember you, the boy and girl we knew, high on love and joy, the simple things apply, don't walk on by. And now we're meeting you, I know I still love you. I hope you're not annoyed, and even if I try to cry, don't walk on by. The sun and stars go round, they do. Our hearts fill up with lost too late. A boy needs a girl must have a faith. The story goes this way. Now love parades again, desire and want and pain, a tale of sun and rain. You are my clear blue sky, don't walk on by.